Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth and I'm back doing your October 2017 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in my dear sweet Lammy Pop Scorpio. And I am back using my regular Shadowscapes deck by Stephanie Puy-Moon-Law, and I may pull another card or two from one of my other decks. Thank you so much for being amazing loyal fans and subscribers. I really appreciate it. I obviously have made these horoscopes available for everyone. So if you'd like to support my channel more, you can click on the links in the description box below to my GoFundMe campaign, Patreon. I also have a PayPal link which you can send a donation through. So that's on my website, oracledaphne.com. If you'd like to get a private reading, please check out my website, oracledaphne.com, and send a payment first, and then email me a good day and time and what city, state you live in, and so I can get you scheduled, because I'd love to get you scheduled. And I'm pretty much ready to go here, I think, for you guys. Let's just lay out a spread. There's some element of things kind of winding down. You kind of maybe needing to wind down or take time at the end of your day to wind down, needing to unravel. There's something about also my guide saying something about things shaking out, maybe sort of settling out, or, you know, letting kind of the chips fall where they may in some way, rather than trying to push too hard or to my guide's saying like force an outcome. You do have the Three of Wands in the position of your attitude, and this is blocking. This is like the only thing that's really blocking you towards the end of October, and even in the middle, there really isn't a lot blocking. There's some things. It's an interesting spread, though. It's very dynamic. So I'm going to start here. So I've got the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is coming to a place of indecisiveness a lot of times, sitting on the fence, going back and forth. I feel like there's a lot of going back and forth because we have this Justice card as the foundation. So, you know, a lot of weighing things, saying, should I, shouldn't I? Not really knowing what to do. I'm getting to a point in time where you're like, you cannot continue going forward the way you've gone in the past, or you just simply don't know what to do next. You've come to a point where you're like, what should I do? How do I go forward? Should I do this? Should I do that? And there's this thing about, you know, needing to figure out what you want to do. I don't usually see Scorpio as being this indecisive. I do see Scorpio being wanting to control, like wanting to always be in control. And so this energy may be frustrating to you because this energy is like where you're going, where you're just trying to figure things out. There's a lot of air energy here. So you may have some planets in air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. I don't even feel really that I'm reading too much for my Lammy Puffs. I feel like I'm reading for other people that are watching for a Scorpio that they know, or they're watching for like the rising or moon or something. So in some way, the energies are getting what I call a little bit polluted, because I'm not reading for the people that are watching like sun sign Scorpios exactly, or entirely. But yeah, I mean, the best case scenario is where you're undecided about what to do. I don't like the Three of Wands so much in this position. My guide is showing me a period of time in which I got this for me, and when I got this, it was like I had to decide where I was going to move, and I had to decide a lot of things around that whole move. That was the move that I made last year. And I came to that point where like, where am I going? What am I doing? And I was asking all these questions. And so you may have a lot of questions kind of running through your head about like where you're going, what you're doing, and like why you're doing it. It may be a big question mark about what you're doing. The story of the Three of Wands, though, is about her girl who's come to the end of her pathway that she's been walking on for some time. And she can't go any farther. And she either needs to switch careers or career fields. Okay, people get confused when I say that. So let's just say you are in business. Maybe your focus was in business. The field that you maybe are going to be switching to is like healthcare or something like that. If you've always been like in administration, maybe switching like or teaching, you may be switching to like retail. It's just one of those things where it's switching career fields a lot of the time, and or starting your own business, and or backtracking a little bit and saying, I need to figure something else out because this isn't working. Where you're going, the direction that you're going isn't working. Or at least it's sort of being like, to me, my guide's also saying you're being a little, like you're whittled down. Maybe you're a little worn down. You're like, I don't like the direction things are going, and you're worn down. So best case scenario, indecisiveness. Worst case scenario, you're really worn down and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do next. The sooner you figure that out, the easier October is going to be. I know it's easier said than done, but this is kind of what I'm seeing for you. So that's like the main blockage that I'm seeing. What's missing in the whole spread is romance. What's missing in the spread is sex. What's missing in the spread is relationships. What's missing in the spread is fun, excitement, enjoying life. To me, it's like your life feels like it's on hold. Like it's like you've pushed the pause button and you're not moving forward. Not really. If you are moving forward, it's like tiny little steps, tiny little adjustments, tiny little things. It's not like you're really headed somewhere, okay? It feels very status quo. It feels like a little bit like a Ferris wheel or like a merry-go-round. To me, that's what it feels like, in the sense that there's this weird spinning element where it's like other people may come and go out of your life. You may be going through a period in your life where it's like there's a lot of people surrounding you, and it's just like the background changes and you are just kind of watching the background change. It's I do feel like there is like a spinning motion. So some of you are really wound up. You're wound up tighter than top, and you need to decompress. That's what I want to say. There's this element of decompression that needs to happen. I apologize for all the noise in the background, guys. Every time I record these days, there's some kind of crazy construction and crap going on. So it's been driving me crazy, but that's just the nature of the beast. So yeah, you need to decompress. You need to relax. You need to have half a glass of wine and or some chocolate and or like have a movie night for just yourself, And the thing is, when Scorpio gets wound up or stressed out, everything just sort of starts to compress more, and they get tighter and tighter and tighter, and like they get more and like more OCD and more like controlling about every little thing, and it's just like they need to let go. They need to relax. They need to have some sex. They need to like do something that's going to relax, them. So this is what I'm seeing here. It just feels very it's not even stressed out. It just feels like you're watching the world go by and you're not checked into the world in some way. You're checked out, and maybe a little bit like you're going through the motions. You're not feeling a damn thing of whatever's going on with you. You're just going through some kind of motions. Or other people are going through the motions, and there's other people in your life, and there's things going on with other people, and that's fine and good, but you're not really present. You're not present. You're either you're too tired, you're overly tired, so you can't be present, or you've checked out emotionally, or you've checked out because of circumstances that upset you and you don't want to check back in. It's sort of just like you're okay with status quo. Your life is sort of passing you by. You're just going through life in a certain way and you're not really into it. You're checked out. You're checked out of it. You're not feeling it. You can't have a relationship that you're not feeling either. That's the other thing too. It's not a relationship if you're not feeling it. You may a little bit, it seems weird. It seems weird for Scorpio because this is a reading for Scorpio, and Scorpios are sexual creatures. And I feel like you kind of lost your sex drive. I actually feel like you lost your mojo, you lost your sex drive. There's something going on that either you are doing, either it's work-life balance issues because we have this Two of Pentacles. You're worn down and you're overtired because we have the Hanged Man, position of emotions. You're hanging on by a thread. You're overly focused on maybe on finances or on career because we do have the Magician showing up here as well. And you need to have fun. You just need to have fun. You need to decompress. You need to relax. You need to go for a walk. You need to maybe take the dog, to the park or something. It just is like anything that you can do that's going to relax you and that's going to get you excited about life again is what you need to do. Got the Three of Cups, going out with some friends. I don't even feel though, I feel like people right now aren't affecting you in any real way. Like it's like you are disconnected from people, like you're disconnected from friends. You may have a call here and there may be a text here and there. It's not like there's nobody around. It just feels like the deeper connection that you need to have with these people is not happening. It's sort of like you are disconnected and that's not good for Scorpio. So, some of you are really like dealing with someone who's doubled up in a relationship or you're dealing with you've dealt with some cheating issues and maybe you're afraid in some level to get back into the game, because we got the Nine of Swords in the center of the reading. That's fear. That's doubt. We got, you're overcoming the devil. The devil is in reverse in the center also. So maybe you've had to overcome some things, and maybe you're at a place finally where it's like, okay, you got into a place where you're good, but maybe there's other things with other people that are not good, or you're not good and everything's going well with other people. It could go either way. But it's also like for those of you who are interested in someone, especially females interested in males, the male that you're interested in is not focused on you. They're focused on other things. They may have other ladies, they may have other guys, they're just not. They're not focused on you. And I don't even feel like you are focused on you. I feel like even male Scorpios, I don't see you in the center of the reading. Unless you're the male Scorpio that's overcome some addiction issues or alcohol problems or gone through a lot to get where you're at. I just feel like you're checked out. Female Scorpios, either you're OCDing about a guy who has another partner, or you're OCDing about a guy who at work, because we have the Three of Pentacles crowning you, and that's kind of meeting up with these other cards. So, or you're not focused on yourself enough. It's not healthy self-focus enough. You're too busy focusing on other people, supporting other people. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe, it's friends. Maybe it's family stuff, but it just feels like you're checked out from what your needs are and you need to check back in. Male Scorpios, I feel like you're not necessarily, you're playing a game, but you're not playing the game. How do I say this? You're not playing the game to win. you're playing the game to lose. Because when you're not in a place to have a relationship and then you go and you try to have one, it's not going to work out. And I feel like if the question, if you were to ask me, is it going to work out with a certain person? Let's just say you're a male Scorpio, interested in a certain girl. The answer is no. The answer is no, because you're not of integrity, and or you're not in a place in which you're emotionally available, really. You know, you're scared to get hurt. When you're scared to get hurt, it's almost the same vibe as being emotionally unavailable. It's not quite the same, but it is. Some of you are also getting sucked down into some fears, some doubts, some worries. Like you're really worried about some shit that's going on in the beginning of October. And maybe it's work stuff, you know? But it just feels like there's a lot of heavy worries and fears, and that stuff can block you from positive things. So I would say you need to kind of clear those worries and fears out and not get sucked down into a place of worry and fear. If you do get sucked down into a place of worry and fear, you know, it's okay for like a day, but like after that, move on. That's what I want to say. It's a very interesting spread because, like I said, there's not enough. The thing that makes life even worth it, the juice of life, the real good stuff, is not in this spread. So it's like you're missing it in some way. You may be missing the point. You may be overly focused on things that in the end will not matter. You know, I want you to ask yourself, if you were to find out you only had 10 years to live or even 5 years to live, how would things be different for you? What would you change? This is my challenge to you. You can message me in the comments and let me know too if you want to share it. If you don't want to share it, that's fine. But how would your life be different? What would you change? What perspective and attitude would then you have on your life thus far? And then what perspective would you have on your future? What changes would you make and decisions would you make based on that information? People go through life believing they're gonna live essentially until they're like 90, and most people do not. I mean, there's some people that do, but most people do not. So I want you to factor that in. We're all in that place of the ego, which keeps us sort of focused on the present moment, and we don't think about this that much. It's imperative for you to think about your life in a positive way. I'm not saying go down the road of, oh my God, you're gonna die, and like, you know, no. I'm saying in a positive way, look at your life and say, you know, what do I want to make changes to? Healthy changes. Decisions. It's sort of like you kind of come to a point of decision making. You do. You need to make the decisions. That's what I'm seeing. You are going to see financial improvements if you've been struggling. I don't even feel like for you like that's really too big of an issue. I feel like some of you may just be waking up and going to sleep and doing the same thing, rinse, wash, repeat, and you're not present in what you're doing. You're not present in your relationships. Maybe you tell yourself that you can't have a relationship until you are financially successful. A lot of people do that. Or maybe you tell yourself you can't have something, you can't take time to go hang out with a friend until you finish whatever it is that you're trying to finish. It just feels like you're just sort of delaying having fun and living your life, and you should never stop living your life for any reason. So because there's things in life that the juice, like I said, the juice of life, the good stuff that makes things worthwhile. And if you're not doing those, then in some way you're missing the point. You're missing it. I keep saying that. You got justice and judgment almost in the same position, which is interesting. So there's a very strong feeling here, major arcana stuff, that in some way, either the past, either legal stuff that you went through in the past, or your relationships that you had in the past were of a major of major importance and maybe taught you a lot. And in some way that energy is still present. So you're still in some way learning from either past relationships, past divorces, past breakups. In some way it's still there. Some people, it shows up even if they've been divorced for 5, 6, 7 years. It's still present. The energy of that is still present. The energy of cheating is still present too. So if you were in a relationship in the past and there was any cheating, that's still present. For some of you, there's active cheating right now, which you need to look at. Too. I do feel like that in the center. I definitely feel like mid-October that's there. Some of you are learning unconditional love. Unconditional love can be quite painful. Unfortunately, it's a very hard lesson, unconditional love, because it's hard for me even to explain because it just is. And that's one of the things you're going to be going through in October, to learning to love unconditionally. Some of you are unconditionally loving, but some of you put, there was a lot of expectations or conditions that were put on you at an early age. Maybe it's strong religious backgrounds, family beliefs, things like that, which taught you a whole belief system about not being deserving or not being able to, no one's able to love you unless you do X, Y, Z, which then in later years has made it so that unless someone else does X, Y, Z and meets your expectations, you withhold love from them. So there's this huge thing about unconditional love that's coming through very strongly for you. Okay, so there's things that are going to happen as far as business changes. Business changes towards the end of October. There's some hard decisions that you're going to have to make in business. Those of you who are in business need to avoid making any kind of major decisions. Those of you who are looking for jobs, I definitely feel like the end of October or middle to end of October, you're going to be really contemplating about making those changes and doing that. And I feel like that's actually a positive thing. The choices that you're going to have to make probably are going to come down to an ending of some sort. And or major financial decisions. That's what I feel like it's going to come down to. Changes in your household, changes in your lifestyle. This came up for Capricorn also. The word lifestyle came up for Capricorn. So there's something about changes in your lifestyle or changes in your expectations in relationships. I do feel like some of you are going to go on some trip at the beginning of October, and or there's some contemplation about traveling. I'm seeing something about traveling. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's where I really want to leave it. I do feel like you guys got the state of emergency card, need to have sex, okay? So some of you really need to get back on the horse here. Like you need to get your sex drive back. You need to get your mojo back. Guys, this is my challenge to you. Work on your mojo. Work on feeling good. And it's really going to go either way. It's going to go either way for some of you. Some of you are just, there's some serious expenses and some serious changes that you're going to have to make either within your household, restructuring, financially restructuring towards the end of October. Some of you are going to be paying like very large college tuition for some kids, some older kids. Some of you are also paying for, your kids' education and it's very expensive. Maybe it's private school. There's something about that. Some of you are just trying to figure out how to make all your ends meet, and you're trying to figure out what to do about your lifestyle, how to support your family, what you're going to do for extra work, what you're going to do for a job. All that stuff's coming up. I'm going to leave off there. There's so many other places that I could go with this, but I think I have covered most of all the energies that are present. So thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, Google Plusing, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Definitely give me a thumbs up. It helps my channel so much. Click the subscribe button also. And I will be back again for more videos, so stay tuned. I send everyone big hugs. Big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. All the best. Bye.